Hi, my name is Fiona Reed, and in the following video essay, I'll introduce you to a few main themes from the work Freedom is a Constant Struggle, Ferguson, Palestine, and the Foundations of a Movement by Angela Davis. In the collection of interviews and essays given from 2013 to 2015, revolutionary academic and Black Panther Angela Davis offers her personal experience from organizing with collectives from around the world and examines similarities among movements combating the symptoms of Western capitalistic white supremacy and state violence. To promote the need for solidarity between movements, she highlights the interconnected components between the Black Liberation Movement, occupied Palestine, and South African apartheid. In her recollection of the 60s civil rights movements, where many demonstrations took place in her hometown of Birmingham, Alabama, Angela Davis recounts witnessing firsthand the events which were broadcast worldwide. School children who were leading the protests as members of the Children's Crusade of 1963 were attacked by police dogs and water cannons, actions which made the state's position on desegregation quite clear. Black liberation leaders were disenfranchised and criminalized. South Africa's first democratically elected president, Nelson Mandela, and Davis herself were placed on the FBI's most wanted and terrorist lists. Meanwhile, the KKK, who had been spreading racial terror since the 1870s, has still yet to be named as terrorist by the United States. Throughout her content, Angela Davis recognizes a consistent theme by law enforcement to designate any organization calling for Black liberation as dangerous, and yet the only threat that Black liberation poses is to white supremacist ideology. Coincidence? In Freedom is a Constant Struggle, Davis identifies the normalization and justification for the use of violence by the state as a tactic in perpetuating control over society. In the 21st century, heavily militarized riot police are present at peaceful protests, from Chicago to Paris to the West Bank, armed with the same brand of tear gas canister and ready to fight terror and protect the institution by any means necessary. Consider why the January 6th insurrection, which was led mostly by white men, was not met with the same level of aggression and force as other protests of the same era.
If there is violence in the process of waging a revolution, that will be determined by the ruling class. That will be determined by those who hold the power.
In her introduction of the Solidarity Movement, Angela Davis highlights a New York-based women's advocacy group known as the Third World Women's Alliance. During the 1960s, the organization published a paper called Triple Jeopardy, addressing the intersectionality of racism, sexism, imperialism, and connecting reform advocates in solidarity. She recognizes that the social issues which various collectives fight to alleviate are all symptoms of the same foundational subscription to white supremacy, Westernism, and capitalization, as well as individualism. If a common connection is not created, no matter how much you appeal to people and invite them to join you, they will continue to see the activity as yours, not theirs. If modern movements which are pressuring the state to prioritize human rights over capitalist interests hope to expand, it's crucial to look for support from people with lived experience who can communicate effectively, such as Angela Davis. I encourage everyone, at least as citizens who enjoy the rights afforded under a democracy, to read Freedom is a Constant Struggle. No one quite knows how to inspire the reader into believing that they themselves, as an individual, have the power to spark revolution like Angela Davis. Thank you for listening.
Only going to be concerned about justice for Negroes in the United States because I know that justice is indivisible and injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. I'm concerned about justice for everybody.